You're watching WXYZ 7. Now, Action News at 11.
A 3-year-old is in serious condition and 2 other children are hurt when a drunk driver ran a red light and plowed right into a family's car. Good evening, I'm Glenda Lewis.
And I'm Dave Llewellyn. Thank you for joining us. The accident happened on McGraw and Lanyo on the city's southwest side. Neighbors say this is a dangerous intersection, and this isn't the first time they've seen serious accidents there. Action News reporter Mike Bowersock is live at that intersection on the city's southwest side with a story now. Mike?
Good evening, Dave. Police telling me the man who caused the accident here at this intersection was drunk. It was an alarming sound.
Suddenly I heard a big noise. Then I waked up and I ran and I heard a lady was shouting. She was crying and it was, a bad scene to see.
Police say the driver of this Chevy Blazer ran a red light at T-Bone Family in this Bonneville at the corner of McGraw and Lanyo. A 3-year-old girl in the back seat was seriously injured. Her 2 older sisters were hurt, but not as bad. All were taken to Children's Hospital. It's a good thing the 3-year-old was in a car seat.
Could have been a lot worse than what it appears right now.
Accidents at this intersection are nearly a daily occurrence.
People never stop for red lights. They race up and down this street.
Last night at 3 o'clock after midnight, we have the same accident, and from now and then we have accident in this area. They should do something about it.
Take a look at the base of this pole and you'll see there's fresh dirt all around here. The reason for that, this pole is new. There have been so many accidents around here that recently this had to be replaced.
This one, if you look, you can see it was just hit a few days ago. I mean, every week there's...
So what's going on here? Why everyone's driving this way?
It's these young kids in the neighborhood. And you call your local precinct, and we've been on them for over a year. They do donuts in the middle of McGraw. They race and burn rubber up and down McGraw.
Back live now, you can see the traffic light that is on this pole is broken. At least the green light on it is broken off. These utility poles out here certainly get a beating. Now, the neighbors in the area say they would welcome any way to slow down the traffic out here, even putting in speed bumps. We're live on Detroit's southwest side. I'm Mike Bowersock, Channel 7 Action News.
All right, thank you, Mike. Tonight, a family is questioning the role of police in a terrible crash that killed 2 teenagers. Family members say 13-year-old Michael Allen and a 16-year-old friend were riding in a car with a 19-year-old Edward Hurl intended to buy. Detroit police spotted the car, which had been reported stolen. When they approached, the teens sped away and lost control. The car smashed into a garage and burst into flames. Only the 16-year-old survived.
I just hope that they wasn't chasing them, because I don't believe that no police should chase anyone, not unless they know that it's a crime being committed or something.
Police are reviewing in-car video to see what caused the boys to take off and what caused them to lose control.
Police say 3 men who killed an elderly man are on the loose tonight, and they need your help to catch them. The trio is being blamed for robbing a woman at the Copa Lounge on the city's west side last night. The elderly man tried to stop them and was shot and killed. 3 armed men also robbed several people at the Innuendo nightclub on the east side early this morning. Police believe the 2 crimes are related. The suspects were last seen driving a light blue Mercury Grand Marquis.
It was another bloody weekend in Iraq. 11 more American soldiers have died. 2 were killed when their convoy was attacked in the southern city of Amara. It happened following a rare clash between British forces and Shiite militia. 2 more soldiers were killed by a rocket-propelled grenade in northwest Baghdad. 1 was killed by an explosive in Kirkuk, and 6 others died in a mortar attack in Ramadi.
A family in Macon, Mississippi is overjoyed tonight after getting word that hostage Thomas Hamill escaped from kidnappers in Iraq. Military reports say Hamill pried open the door of a building where he was being held captive and ran toward U.S. troops passing by in a convoy. The 43-year-old civilian truck driver was taken hostage 3 weeks ago when his convoy was attacked. In Macon, the whole town celebrated today. Hamill's wife, Kelly, said she cried when she heard the news.
He said that he is doing great. He misses the family. We also want to thank everybody for their prayers, their support. We're still praying for the families that we have no information on. The soldier that's in captivity, we're going to pray and hope that they get the same good news that we have received.
As for Thomas Hamill, he is in Baghdad tonight and says he is ready to go back to work. And stay tuned to Action News. We'll have continuing coverage of all the developments in Iraq.
President Bush will make several campaign stops in Michigan tomorrow. He'll visit a high school on the southwest side of the state, then make a stop in Kalamazoo before heading to our area. He's scheduled to speak in Sterling Heights about his plan to save jobs in Michigan.
Well, the sun did peek out a bit late in the day. For the most part, it was cold and gloomy, felt more like March than May. So what can we expect for the work week ahead? Let's go to meteorologist Shay Ryan for a first look at our forecast. Shay?
Well, the good news is we'll see a little sunshine tomorrow as we're starting the day. Take a look here at our satellite and radar composite, and you can see that the clouds are beginning to move out of the area tonight. Now, that cloud cover has been acting like a blanket, trapping in some of the relative warmth from the daytime. So you take that blanket of clouds off, and the temperatures begin to drop off quite a bit. As a result, we're going to be at, near, or below freezing, depending on where you're at tonight. And so tomorrow morning, we may see some frost around. In fact, a frost advisory is in effect for some of our counties. We'll have the details on that coming up in the full forecast in just a few minutes.
Thank you, Shay. Steve Yzerman is out of the Red Wings lineup indefinitely after undergoing 4.5 hours of surgery at Henry Ford Hospital. The captain was hit in the face with the puck on a deflected shot during yesterday's game. He suffered fractures of the orbital bone in his left eye, as well as a scratched cornea. Yzerman spent the night in the hospital and was released around noon today. Doctors say he will recover fully.
Now for a story that will warm your heart, a teacher has gone way beyond the call of duty. He's not only giving one of his students the gift of education, he's also giving him the gift of life. Action News reporter Glenn Zimmerman is live in Allen Park with more on this incredible story of unselfish giving. Glenn?
Good evening, Dave. It was a little over an hour ago. We were standing out here editing our story. The young man you're about to meet was with us when suddenly he had to leave. You see, 6 nights out of 7, he has dialysis. What this story means, we won't ever have to do that again. A certain bond exists in a classroom between teacher and student, but this story goes well beyond that. Everything began for Matt Toigo with a simple school physical. That led to some tests and then a mother's nightmare.
She was in tears because the doctor told her there was a bed waiting for me at Mott Children's Hospital.
I just remember going out to the hospital. I thought, man, one of my students is dying at U of M, so let's go see him. And I think I took him Snickers, although I'm not sure if he was able to eat those.
Doctors diagnosed Matt with end-stage renal disease. In other words, both of his kidneys were failing. That's when Matt's 8th grade science teacher first realized he could help.
At that point, I said, hey, this kid, he needs a donor.
First, there were a battery of tests, and then the day came when Troy realized it was a match.
I was crying on my desk, and when I came over to him and I said I passed, and he just kind of stuck his hands up in the air, like, yes, and then he gave me a hug.
Emotional, even though they say I'm not emotional. I can't be an emotional guy. But yeah, it was a good thing. It was an awesome thing.
So next school year, Matt will once again take a seat in this classroom. But even beyond the knowledge, he'll carry a piece of his teacher with him forever.
It's not a story about like, hey, here's a hero, Troy Fisher. It's, hey, God is the hero of this story. Really, that may sound cheesy or pious, but that's the honest truth.
When the surgery is done, both student and teacher will be able to live a totally normal life on one kidney. Surgery right now scheduled for sometime in June. Live here in Allen Park, I'm Glenn Zimmerman, Channel 7 Action News.
Kevin, Heather, and Felipe, somebody's got to go. Who's Mr. Jeffrey Feiger going to dismiss? I'm Ray Saya. The Intern is coming up in just 4 minutes on Action News at 11.
And the dreams of 2 junior drag racers have stalled tonight, all because of some hot-handed thieves.
Plus, what looked like a puddle ended up causing big trouble for a local driver. That story and more when Action News at 11 comes right back.